Have you all ever noticed that we have so many cameras watching us, but people still don't feel safe out here? And let me ask you all this. When you all were growing up as a little child, do you feel like the people in the community knew who you were? Do you feel like the people in the community knew your name? And do you feel like they cared if you made it home safe or not? And the reason why I ask is because I've been noticing a whole lot, like watching the news, that there's a lot of young people that go out with people that they call their friends and they never make it home. And I know you all have seen that case that happened in Mississippi. And it's just not only that case, it's a lot of them. A lot of this has been happening more and more. And the reason why I asked about the cameras is because when I grew up, and I'm just speaking for myself, like in my community, everybody knew each other's name and everybody seemed to care about each other's children. We didn't have no flocking cameras. We didn't have surveillance. We didn't have apps and phones. You know what we had? We had people who were always looking out for each other kids. They were looking out the window. They would get you right together if you got out of line. That's the kind of community I grew up in. You know, the older lady down the street who sold Cool Cups, she was the surveillance camera. In the neighborhood I grew up in, we didn't have much of anything. We didn't have Ring cameras, but eyes was everywhere. And it wasn't the technology. It was just because people was paying attention. And I'm going to tell you, the adults in my neighborhood, they will look out for you. And I was a latchkey kid. I'm Gen X. I came home every day by myself, let myself in, fix the sandwich, and I would watch cartoons and I would wait till my parents got home. And one day I called myself being slick. I knew what time they was coming home, so I decided I was gonna go across the street and play with my friend and then come back in the house. Like I've just been sitting there all the time waiting on them. You know what? The lady next door to us was watching me. I didn't know she was watching me, but I found out she was because she told my mama. And you know what happened after that. And back then, neighbors didn't never think that they were overstepping their boundaries with kids. They really believed in protecting you. But now, you know what? I don't even feel safe saying anything to kids anymore because I don't know what the children are going to do and I don't know what the parents are going to do. It's different now. People don't want you to say anything to their kids. And some of these teenagers are just too big, and I'm not fixing to even risk my life. But I was always taught if I went somewhere with a group of friends, we were always supposed to look out for each other. Everybody left together and everybody came back together. Nobody tried to wander off and nobody was left behind. That's just how it was back then. And let me say this also, I'm not saying our generation was perfect because we had our problems, but for the most, this what was taught to us. And you know what? When I was a teenager, even when I was 17, 18, we didn't go on trips to the beach. We didn't go on vacation with anybody. The only thing we probably did was go to the football game or went to the movies. And let me say this, my parents, they were very uncomfortable with me spending the night with anybody. I didn't spend the night with a lot of friends. I would spend the night with my best friend and other family members. But as far as classmates, that's a no. They just didn't believe in that. And y'all let me know how you all's parents were. Did you all go and stay overnight with people or go on trips with other families? Let me know because my family was very strict about that. And I'm the same way with my daughter. I don't let her spend the night with everybody. She's my only child. And she knows not to ask me, can she spend the night with somebody? And a lot of people may say I'm overprotective, but I'd rather have my daughter roll her eyes at me today than spend the rest of my life wishing I would have made a different decision. And you know what? We just have to teach our kids, to the best of our ability because they're not going to always listen to us. We just have to try to instill things in them that's going to keep them safe. Like my daughter, she used to come home all the time. My friend said this, my friend did that. Let me tell you about my friend. And I used to correct her all the time. I used to say, that ain't your friend. Stop referring to people as your friend. And I had to explain to her what a friend is. You don't just call everybody a friend. And one girl, she was calling her friend, and I was like, that little girl is not your friend. And she was like, yes, she is. I said, when school started back, y'all probably won't even be friends. And then so school started back. And I was like, well, are you and Lindsay still talking? Are you all still friends? And she was like, she doesn't even speak to me anymore. And I was like, didn't I tell you that girl wasn't your friend? And I tell her, look, that person is not your friend. Just refer to them by their name. Refer to them as classmates. You don't have to refer to them as a friend. I had to explain to her that people change over time. They may not be the same person they were when they were in the third or the fourth grade, but she learned. We can't get tired of talking to our kids about who friends are and teaching them not to wander away from the group. But do you all think it's our fault or the technology now? Because kids now, they grow up and they always have a phone in their hand. Do you all think it's the parents' fault that our kids don't understand what friendship is? Because kids communicate differently now. I have to fault myself because I wish I would have never gave my child a cell phone or iPad, because that's how they communicate all the time. They're on these apps, they're playing Roblox, and maybe it makes them desensitized to really getting to know somebody. When we were growing up, we talked in person. We played in person. We played basketball, hide and seek. We were talking to each other face to face. We could read energy, and it's hard to really read energy on a computer screen. And I think technology can be dangerous in that way because you don't really get to feel a person out. It's all fun and games when you're on the PlayStation or playing Roblox and you're laughing and having a good time. It's hard to see somebody's intentions when you're on a computer screen. But we have all this technology and cameras and ways of tracking people and ways of communicating. But do you all think we lost the mindset that makes people feel responsible for each other? Because these kids, they go off together and they call each other friends, and they're not connected to each other in that way. It's easy to come back or let somebody wander off and not feel responsible. And I'm not saying all kids are like that, but we're just seeing it happen so much now. And I'm not trying to speak ill of anybody's parenting because, like I said, you can talk to your kids all day, but they have their own mindset and their learning style and their development style. And this new generation is different. But you all let me know how you all feel. Did the adults in your neighborhood look out for other children? Do you feel like we're more detached now? Do you all feel with all the technology, could that be causing a disconnect with our kids? But you all let me know how you all feel, and make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment because that helps the algorithm. And all the time, I want to thank you all so much for being a part of this community. You all could be anywhere else and you all are here. And I just appreciate you all so much. But that's all I have, you guys. And I look forward to talking to you all in the comments.